On this one, they give us a, couple of limits and they want us to know here's the answers. What's that going to be? So let's bring down part A here. So this one, if I just plug in the infinity, I'll get minus 22 times infinity squared plus 13 times infinity cubed. I know infinity is not really a number, but it's a concept. So what does that mean? Negative times infinity squared is just infinity times negative, that'd be negative infinity, plus infinity times 13, I mean, it's infinity. So what's negative infinity plus infinity? Well, it's obviously zero. Well, no, we can't do that. You might think so, but not quite true. Why not? Well, it's because there's different rates of infinity. You know what I mean? Like you might launch two rockets up to space, and that's, let's call that infinity, right? But if one's going a lot faster than the other, you know, it's going to make, subtracting or the gap between them, because we're subtracting these guys, right? The gap between them will continue to grow. It won't be zero, right? So anyway, so my point is these things go to infinity at different rates. So we can't just go that's zero. No, no. We're going to say this is uncertain. We don't know what this means. So okay, so my point is that didn't work. Well, then what in the world do we do? Let's go back to the original question. Well, actually, let me just tell you what we're going to do on this one is we're going to factor. If we take out x squared, then that leaves minus 22 plus 13x, right? If I was to distribute that, it would go back to these guys, right? Now let's try plugging in the infinity again. Why does that matter? Well, you'll say, plug in the infinity there, you get infinity squared, okay? Plug infinity here, you get minus 22 plus 13 times infinity, okay? So what's that? Well, um, that's going to be infinity squared, that's just infinity. And what's this? Minus 22 plus, what's 13 times infinity? Well, that's just infinity. And now, what's infinity take away 22? Well, that's just infinity. And what's infinity times infinity? That's infinity. Nothing unclear about that. You see what I'm saying? Up here, infinity minus infinity, that's uncertain because we don't know. We don't know which is faster. We don't know which is going to infinity faster. So, like if you send two, like I said, if you send two rockets up and one is going a lot faster than the other, the gap between the subtraction between them is going to grow, right? It's not going to be zero. Now, if they go up at the same rate, then the difference between them is zero. So we just don't know. It's uncertain. But this is definitely certain. Infinity times infinity, that's got to be infinity. Nothing unclear there. And boom, that's our answer. So we were able to get a certain answer by factoring out, and then it became infinity times infinity, which was very clear. Now, you might have looked up here and said, Mr. Aaron, couldn't we have known because infinity cubed is more powerful than infinity squared? That's going up faster, so this guy's faster. Yeah, you're basically right. That infinity, that positive infinity is faster than that negative infinity, so he's going to win. That's why the answer is positive infinity. True enough. But it's nice. This is really clear, so we like that. Let's do part B. So now limit x goes to minus infinity. Let's try the same thing. Let's factor. Take out x squared leaves minus 22 plus 13x. Let's plug in our minus infinity. Now we're going minus, whoops, kind of got a little scribbly there. Minus infinity squared times minus 22 plus 13 times minus infinity. Okay, minus infinity squared is positive infinity, right? Because a negative squared, negative times negative, positive. Okay, then what's this? This is minus 22. 13 times minus infinity, that's minus infinity, right? And so minus 22 minus infinity, well, that's going to be minus infinity. Positive infinity times negative infinity, that's going to equal negative infinity. There's nothing unclear about that. Positive infinity times negative infinity is certainly going to be negative infinity. That's our answer. And that's our answer. And so there we go. So by factoring.